Thanks, Hockey. Thank you. Look at that, scared in the background, just going like, "Wow." I know you guys can't hear him, but we do anyway. He gets a little bit jealous. Don't worry about that. But to be honest, you're right, Hockey. I'm really good looking guy, but at the same time, this series will definitely turn out to be a banger in my opinion, just because of the fact that it's got two difficult and two top teams going against each other. Of course, Rain, one of the strongest teams in the entire tournament on paper, especially. But I know Scared yet touched upon a little bit of Tiso, but let's not forget you got Wicked on the other side, and he's no stranger to being in the top tier tournaments and as a top gold laner in Europe as well. So it's gonna be a good battle to see in the gold lane. I feel like these individual battles is gonna be really difficult for Extremely Slay to come out on top of. But if they do manage to come out on top in any individual, matchup, then it's gonna be a surprise. The only way I see them kind of beating Rain is probably going maybe synergy for the full team against Rain, of course. But
Hmm.
yeah, I just give Rap the Fanny, bro. Let's just wrap up game one as soon as possible. I'm just kidding. I'm
Yeah,
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I mean, to be fair, from so far what you've seen from bans here, I think there's an alpha ban, as you can know, as you can see here. It's quite a respect ban, but it's also a quite nice a target ban against Extremely Slay, because last time we've seen Extremely Slay play, right, they were able to play better with the fighter junglers actually more often than assassins or anything else. So I think that is quite the respect ban, not only for Mr. Death, but for the side of Extremely Slay themselves, right? Quite a good focus ban. Maybe you could even take out the Bane right after, take out something that is a comfort for Extremely Slay here in that situation.
Now maybe the Bane, but Bane's not usually a pick that you want to get early on in the game, at least not in game number one. That way you're kind of showing your cards. Bane is usually
Yeah.
like a game number two, game number three kind of pick, in my opinion. But at the same time, Hockey, hey, you look at the bans, the Alpha being taken off the table by Rain, of course. They also take off the Bruno. Don't want to give that extra bit of range, that extra bit of penetration, the extra bit of crit
Yeah.
damage. He's been wreaking havoc in the Land of Dawn so far. So yeah, Bruno. The Eve got just banned out right now, but on the other side, Extremely Slay don't want to give any sort of priority, which comes in the form of the Zushin, especially that Fanny in the jungle. So taking that off, and then Hilda being banned out as well from the EXP lane. So they don't want to be dove upon in the jungle. So you're looking to see instantly Extremely Slay want to go for an assassin kind of route. Especially given the fact that Alpha is banned out right now. The Suyo is still available, but the chip is available as well. They go for the Suyo.
Oh, and they do go for the Suyo, as you just mentioned right now. And the chip might be available, but once again, we've seen the chip nerf, and it doesn't make him as threatening. But his kit alone makes it worth into the big matches if it comes to team play. And there it is, the Phoveus picked up early on, and I think that's a really nice pick since you already have the Hilda ban. You're kind of limiting your opponent as well, but at the same time, you're not showing a flexible pick. So it's quite like a tricky pick, but it often works, right? And I think we might see a mage that could get potentially banned here, or maybe a Nolan on the table. Nolan's still available, but it would be too early. You could probably go for a roam pick here if you want to. The chip is still up. You have chip counters that you can just already pre-pick before you even go for the chip here. So let's see here. Let's see Extremely Slay. They're looking to go for something mind-blowing here on the second pick, and there it is, the Hearth picked up. Since they don't have the Bruno, they've been often depending on the Hearth instead of that Bruno as a backup, and it works pretty well for them.
Yeah, I like the Harriet. It kind of brings in that extra bit of lane bully kind of feeling on the other side. So right now, Rain already know they got to play something in the gold lane that goes toe to toe with the Harriet. Not something you find quite often. There, you're gonna be leashing the Harriet a little bit. You're gonna be babysitting the Harriet, and with the Beatrix, and you kind of have to go for the Beatrix at this point in time, and you can see that being picked up as well, along with the Matilda. So they're trying to zone them away with a little bit. There's a little bit of river control being shown right now by the side of Rain with this Matilda in the hands of Boro nonetheless. So they're definitely going to be controlling that river side, playing aggressive, the aggressors in this game. You can see that coming in the form of the Suyo as well. So pairing up good heroes with this right now, so you can start seeing some synergy going on the table. But at the same time, on the other side, you touched upon the Harriet. I like it. He's a lane bully, but you need to give him a little more than that, right? You kind of need to give him a little more space. You need somebody else to soak up that damage, and you need someone to finish them off. And speaking of finishing them off, the Hayabusa being picked up in the
Ooh.
jungle, and it's gonna be in the hands of the Grim Reaper himself, Mr. Death. Yeah, that's what, ladies and gentlemen. That he should change his IGN right now. He is the Grim Reaper. That's his nickname. Hockey and I
Yeah.
coined it, and he's gonna stick with it from now on. And we're gonna call him that. So don't, don't be surprised if you hear Mister That quite a while. And it's got a nice ring to it, Hockey. Don't you think so? Like the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, the
It's
Grim
got a
Reaper
nice ring,
himself.
yeah.
I mean, come on, we've seen it. You can't kill what's already dead, right? And he's a Grim Reaper. He's here to take your life here, the Wiki Shadow kill. So yeah, pretty fair enough, I would say. Right now we are on to the second ban phase, and I think we have a lot of mages on the table actually that still have not been picked. So I'm expecting nothing but mage bans and even a Hylos. I think Hylos is worth the ban here because thanks to his aggression and glorious pathway, it makes it really difficult for uh, the side of extremely slicks, especially with that Hayabusa to not only engage but to also back out, right? So I think that is quite a bit of nice ban here. There it is taking out the Tig from now on only Kingsta. And what do you think mages are gonna get banned here? I mean, I'm calling the Lui probably alongside the Aurora.
I like. I would say the Vexana. If I was Rain, I'd be looking to go for the Vexana because you already have an aggressive kind of route with the Matilda. You have the Suyo as well. You just need a little more CC in the mid lane right now. So the crowd control should be coming in the form of this Vexana. I feel like Aurora is good, but at the same time, when you pick Aurora, you're already in the back. But I can see the Aurora getting picked up just because they have a Hayabusa on the other side. So either one, and maybe if Extremely Slay are looking to play it a little more passive, they could just go for the Valentina to see which one they can, kind of steal off of. But at the same time, they take away this Faramis, which would have paired well with the extra bit of sustain that comes in the form of the Guiding Wind, along with that Nether Realm. But I think that's a little bit of overkill at this point. You're not really looking to go for the Faramis on the other side unless the Suyo just wants to go gung ho the entire time. So
Yeah.
I mean that's a questionable ban in my opinion, but it makes sense to a certain extent unless Rain really practice that quite a lot. And knowing Enzo, I think he probably won his hands on either a Vexana, Valentina, or an Aurora. These are the three picks that are left up for contestation. But at the same time, you can see that Sicilian. I was gonna say they need a little more backline damage, and that came in the form of the Sicilian, and that's banned out of Hockey. And so the draft looks, this is something that's not completely out of left field, apart from the Faramis, in my opinion. But I feel like this is some solid draft coming out from both the teams. I feel like it's gonna be a solid match too.
Yeah, I agree. Here's definitely gonna be a solid match here. You still have quite a few mages on the table. The one thing I would recommend as a mage for the side of Rain, I think Lilia works pretty well if you're looking just to not being targeted by the Hayabusa. Thanks to her black shoes, where she can just ignore everything Hayabusa did right after his Wiki Shadow kill. But at the same time, when it comes to team play, I think you would prefer better CC than play utility for yourself. And there is a Vixana
Ooh.
going in for Bubble right there, looking to cause trouble for the side of Rain. So now they gotta look for a mage that can catch up with this Vixana. You have the Aurora still open, you still have the Loi still open, you even have the Parsa. Now and Parsa in that case, so Parsa is pretty good nowadays thanks to her recent buff. But even though she
It's a
needs a little
Hayabusa
bit,
though.
I mean, against the Hayabusa, it's kind of difficult, but once again, if you're playing with the Matilda, you're gonna have that faster rotation. And if played right with the Suyu and the upcoming EXP pick, I think the Hayabusa might have a hard time going for that backline.
Nah, I agree to disagree over there, Hockey. The Farsa is good, but not against the Vexana and a Hayabusa, to be honest. The Valentina, I told you, I called it. They got to go for the Valentina on the other side. It's either they take away the Vexana, Aurora, and what's the other one? Either of the two, and then you get the Valentina on the other side. That's just like playing it safe in the mid lane, but at the same time you get the control that you're looking for if your team is able to play aggressive in the early stages of the game, and that comes in the form of that Matilda. They got the Gatot in the EXP lane, but I love the reply. I love the reply coming in from Extremely Slay. They go for the show in the form of a pick-off, and now it's going to be a problem on the other side. So Matilda's got to think twice before you go in, and so does Rap on the Suyo. Looking at the draft, Hockey, I love this draft. I love both teams. It's going to be a cracker for sure.
What would you prefer here in both teams' draft? What is your personal favorite draft here?
Yeah, I think I like the draft of Rain, but I do like the show that's being pulled off by the side of Extremely Slay. It looks like it's a little preemptive as well, just because they got a Valentina on the other side. So a lot of Purify is going to be there. but that's only going to come in from the Matilda and the Valentina. The others on the other side, you're not going to see I mean, if they're respecting the show with Valentina Enzo going on the Purify, then it'll be a good. Then I would say Rain would probably take it. But looking at the heals that's coming in from the Matilda, yeah, the mobility is just a little too much there.
Yeah, I agree with you here. I kind of like both draft as well. I think my personal favorite here will go for the side of Rain. I just love how aggressive they can potentially get with the Matilda and the Valentina, even though Valentina is considered to be a safe pick. But when paired alongside the Matilda, right, you can have this a lot of poke, and that would help the Suyu engage even more and play gung ho, like you mentioned early on. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are into game number one, match number one. Here it is. I was pretty excited for this before it begins, and so is Chronos. And let's see how this game's gonna go for all of us right now. I am pretty excited to see that show in action. I want to see that show active everywhere, right?
Ooh.
And there it is. As I'm saying, he is going to try and be aggressive as possible against especially that Matilda, right? He doesn't want to leave space for that Matilda, so she doesn't help Enzo have his free time as well around the river.
Yeah, you can see that Kingsta actually dominating the river right now. This is what Extremely Slay brings to the table. That show pick means that you want to play aggressively, and his team is able to do that really well. So right now, they're focusing their attention on the gold side, and at this point, oh, Tiso.
Ooh.
Yeah, you see, that's why the Harriet is a lane bully.
Yeah, he is a lame bullet. Once again, do not forget we have Tiso on the Beatrix. This man surprises us every time he gets that hero. So let's not get overconfident on saying Tiso is losing here because we know what Tiso is fully capable of. And oh, what damage coming in from Bubble here with the Vixana alongside the passive coming in from the minion.
Yeah, I think the Vexana's damage in the early game, especially when there are minions around, is not something that you should try and test. You could see that come out instantly. Before the turtle's up in 10 seconds, Hockey looks like the position and both want to fight for the river.
Yeah, they are looking for it right now. They have that positioning right now, but Hoshik might be delayed a little bit here on the low form. Bubble might get instead. Laito is going aggressive, trying to get as much damage alongside Enzo, and they're looking in with a vengeance coming in from Hoshik, and there's a weekly shadow kill, but looks like that might be it. Mr. This will have to retreat, unfortunately. It was a really nice pickoff coming in from the side of Rain.
Yeah, it was a good pickoff coming in from the side of Rain. Indeed, that was first blood. And the kill in the hands of Enzo. Of course, right now they get the turtle as well without using the retribution. So now they want to go for the invade. Kingsta might be in the thick of it. You can see Circling Eagle is there. And the Avatar of the Guardian catches too. It was beautiful coming in from Light as well. At the same time, they get that orange buff that they were looking for. Kingsta right now caught in no man's land. And so is Hoshik without the level 4, without the way of the dragon. Can't really do anything. And this is why you don't mess with Rain. And you can see instantly they get control after a minute mistake that came out from the side of Extremely Slay. And that's why these players are so confident, so good. Kingsta just reaches level 4 and they're already 2.3k behind.
That's why I love Rain's playstyle. They know how to punish even the smallest of details of the game, right? And they're able to take full advantage and extra on top of that, and that puts them 3k ahead of Extremely Slay. So now, Extremely Slay here, they know like, okay, this team, they're gonna punish us at the most minuscule accident that could happen. So now they gotta say like, we gotta play to absolute perfection, absolute point on, and that's what Extremely Say need to focus on. I think they're only hoping might be wicked, but Kingsta with the flicker taking up Chronos for this upcoming fight.
Yeah, they got a little aggressive and Boro right now, but you can see instantly Soul Sever coming in. Kingsta doesn't have the flicker. He wasn't punished. And I think they kind of sense the fact that Grim Reaper is around Mr. Death himself. So not wanting to go and press the advantage when they have it. So they're just waiting for another mistake to come out from the side of Extremely Slay. And you can see that Nibiru's passion to clear the way faster. And instantly they get a faster rotation around the map. And they still maintain that lead with that river control that they got in the first place.
They sure are right now, and they're still keeping that advantage. They're making full gold of that 2k ahead, right? It looks like Koshik is in trouble.
Yeah, you can see
out here with
Vengeance is there.
And there's a Eternal Guardian stopping him. Light picks up the kill for himself, but look at Mr. Death now. Look at this. This might be a potential fight coming here at the Turtle. Take it up here.
Oh, you can see Kingsta at the same time. He gets terrified, caught in the Circling Eagle. Mr. Death might get the retribution. No, he doesn't. Rap Fafnir picks it up for himself, and Mr. Death actually right now is not able to escape with that beautiful avatar of the Guardian from Lito coming at the right time. Blade Surge as well to make sure he doesn't escape. Rap Fafnir is on a roll right now, 0-0-5. I thought he was playing a jungler, not a support. You can see Eternal Guardian coming in from Bubble at the same time. They get the purple, they get the Grand Theft purple, and they get out of there. It's just instant steal. Of course, it's in the hand of Boro, but I think better a Boro than in the hands of Mr. Death.
I agree here.
Oh,
Looks like
flickered out.
Flicker just in time from that Zaman Force and the way of the dragon, and looks like King's in trouble as Bennett comes flying through from the skies and just taking and wiping him out immediately. And what timing for Tiso. That's what I said earlier, right? Do not underestimate Tiso on the Beatrix. He is the Beatrix. That's all I can say.
Hey, you just next time in the thumbnail, Lemon, you just got to take Beatrix and put Tiso's face in there. That's what you want to see.
That would be beautiful.
That would be so weird. But at the same time, looking at the itemization of hockey, you see anything different that you probably change, or everything as per standard?
Well, I love the way they're going for utility here for the Hayabusa, making sure he gets full use of that. And the Circling Eagle, the Eternal coming through, but King still will survive on time, right? I love how they're playing so utility here. One thing I've noticed, Tiso is going once again for that Blade of Despair. And I like how he's prioritizing magic defense, knowing that Mr. Death is not causing that much trouble, so he doesn't have to worry about physical defense for now.
Yeah, I think he doesn't really have to, but look at Boro just zoning them away. Although there's only one cannon minion that's left to kind of seize the mid lane tier 1. Lito here gets the taunt on towards Kingsta. Kingsta is really low. He can't really flicker in, but he has the option. Jeet Kune Do not available yet. And you can see instantly right now, before the turtle spawns, they get the control of that tower in the mid lane. They get the siege in the top tower. So they've taken top and bot. Now they're cracking open the mid lane, leaving the jungle exposed for the side of Extremely Slay. But at the same time, they get the kill on towards a Bubble, who wasn't expecting it. But oh my goodness, Mr. Death gets caught out with the Circling Eagle, distracted with that. But Rap Fafnir came in with that Blade Surge, picked up that kill. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, and what a beautiful kill. And look at the replays.
Look at Lito over here. Lito is just being on point with that Gato catcher. 303 is now going to be 304, and that is EXP lane for you right now, right? He catches him off guard, and then Rap right there just one-shots, showing us how to play Suyu completely, right? This is what Suyu is how meant he's played, right? And there's the AOG coming through, but the Purify coming in from Wicked, perfect to use just to escape. But look at the other side.
Rap Fafnir, he goes down, however. The sacrifice is made. Kingston with the flicker, way of the dragon, but at the same time, you can see the damage being dished out from Bubble as well. And right now, the team fight getting extended. Hoshik somehow still able to survive thanks to his vengeance, but the double kill in the hands of Lito, and this guy has been a beast so far.
Yeah, I agree here. Lito on that Gato, they gotta ban that. They gotta take that out for sure.
Hey, it's not the player. I mean, it's not the hero. I think it's the player. This guy's been putting an absolute performance. Usually you see Gato Kacha as a miss, the avatar of the Guardian, and he's been landing every single one perfectly so far. They already get the bot side tier 2. They're looking to get the top side tier 2 and the mid as well. But here, Kingsta went for the way of the dragon, but I think a little far off. AOG to zone them away, and you can see after dropping the Zaman Force, he gets deleted by Tiso. That's wicked. Meanwhile, in the back line, he goes in for the Ogi Shadow kill. Mr. Death is able to walk out of there alive. Rap Fafnir doesn't want to let him do so, and you can see that he gets taken out by his own Ogi Shadow kill coming in from Enzo, stealing it away by the IMU. And right now, Extremely Slay completely on the back foot, behind the 8 ball, 10,000 in gold in less than 10 minutes, Hockey.
That is absolutely insane. I was, to be fair, not to sound bad, but I was expecting this to be a tough match. But Rain, on the other hand, they're making it look so easy, right? And now they gotta think now. Extremely Slay, we've seen them in this position before. They gotta adapt, and they can adapt time. This is a mentality. This is where their mentality hits. They're like, okay, guys, we're 10k far behind. We gotta figure out something. But will it be on time or will it be too late? Let's find out here. They're trying to position here for Lord, right? They want to go for that Lord fight. They know that this Lord could change the game, but pick it up here, Kronos, as this fight's about to begin.
AOG into the back line. You get a killing spree on towards T-Sun. You can see right now Hoshik caught between a rock and a hard place. Will go down to Bennett's raids. That's a double kill to Tiso, and they get 2 kills in the process. And right now, at this point in time, this Beatrix is really well fed. They don't even want to go for the Lord. They want to siege in at the mid lane. As you can see, Tiso going at it one at a time. And all they can do is watch. Wicked right now can't really do anything. He has no damage, although he's died only a single time. He is way behind in farm because 10,000, which is extended to 11 right now, Hockey. I think this is too big of a deficit. The economy has scaled
Yeah.
up. It slipped away from the side of Extremely Slayer right now, and I feel like they're gonna have a really hard time to even defend this, tier 1 Lord.
Mm. I mean, this tier 1 Lord with 12k farm ahead, I think this could be a potential first game end, right? It could be. We've seen it several times. It's beautiful execution so far coming in from Rain. Every play has been on point, right? So I'm not gonna be surprised if they manage to also end that game in that meanwhile. They gotta force a fight. They gotta take a fight here that they gotta make sure they can win, right? Because any mistake coming in from Rain now, I think Extremely Slay will be able to punish that. Alongside Wicked now, where he has enough damage to not only burst down Light, but the rest of Rain.
And right now, looking at the minion waves, all both top and mid lane crashing at the same time. Zaman forced to zone them away, but Kingstar went in with the flicker, didn't catch anyone, gets caught himself instead, and is unstoppable. His T, so Mr. Death gets taken down as well. Meanwhile, Hoshik comes in with the demonic force, trying to shout some damage, but guess what? Nobody there to back him up. He goes down as well. Like dominoes, they fall. The side of Extremely Slay. Fafnir adding insult to injury in their base. Right now, just recalling what can Wicked really do. He can only watch. Chrono dashes away from that AOG, and right now, after using the Purify, he drops the Zaman Force, but guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The base crystal is left exposed, and instantly Rain taken away in a dominating fashion.